I have something to say. Everybody's rooting about Alex Jones being a crazy and stuff like that. Think about it. You're trying to say that they don't go after guns and the government doesn't go after your rights and your guns and stuff like that, and that people are conspiracy theorists and stuff like that. If you not paid attention to the elections and stuff like that, like, come on. They're gaining political gains off of dead children. Look at Brian O'Rourke, okay, who's trying to run for governor, that's using Uvalde school shooting victims and clearly stated, yes, we're going after your guns on his political rallies. He's literally saying your Second Amendment right does not matter. Just like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, all these political figures who are using dead children or school shootings or school public massacres, okay? They're funding off of your children, my children, anybody that's a victim of some sort of gun violence or school shooting or public massacres, okay? They're funding off of you. They're using that as a political game of something that's been a legal document that's been signed by our forefathers for decades. Be careful and be mindful of it, because I'm telling you, you won't have any rights if they keep targeting it by using the way you look at it is, think about it. You got a family that's accused of only targeting one news outlet compared to all the other news outlets and everything that's been founded about what was wrong about it. Nobody's said that the incident in Uvalde, Sandy Hook, Columbine school massacres did not happen. They happen, but it's being used in a political standpoint, and they say it's not, but it is. If you really pay attention, if it's not, how the heck did Joe Biden and Kamala Harris automatically, the same day that school shooting was happening, they ended up saying something or talking about it or going into a press briefing and talking and discussing about it? Come on, man. Society, wake up. Wake up to this. Because if you're not paying attention to what our government is doing, there's a problem. You got Ted Cruz. You got other political Republican senators that are actually speaking up. Marjorie Taylor Greene. You have other political figures that are speaking that something's wrong here, and they're funding off of this type of stuff. If they're promising to take away something that's a right. Well, I'm sorry to tell you, you can't take away something that's a God-given right. Not a government right. And trying to make your own understanding of what it says on it. No, I'm sorry to tell you, but America, you need to wake the hell up and realize that that's more wrong you can't take away something that's been signed off for our forefathers. You can't alter the U.S. Constitution. You cannot take out something and then put something else in. It does not work like that, because then how are you going to do that if you got to wake up our forefathers to sign something new? You can't do that. It's physically impossible. All you can do is make things better. I mean, you can't implement more laws, because now you implement more laws, like you're basically trying to control and take away the rights of the people, and that's not right. Let's just wake up, America. I mean, come on now. Like, you got somebody suing because they don't like something. That makes no sense. How can you sue somebody because your feelings are hurt? Last time I checked, your feelings did not trump the First Amendment right. And clearly, they violated the right to a fair trial for somebody that, because they felt like Alex Jones didn't, they felt like that he can't speak on it, but these news outlets, it's pick and choose time. So guess what? I feel like my rights being trumped on, I could speak out. If I feel like some political parties are using kids, dead children at that, as a reason to take away our gun rights, that's called political gain, which that structures under political parties that are very sick and need some type of psychological attention, because of the fact being that you're trying to gain off of dead children. And if you're trying to say that I have a psychological issue, you have the psychological issue for not even trying to think about that type of stuff and going after those political parties that gain off of our children. I'm a father, and I will be damned because I will be suing every political party that ends up using my child. If my child was involved in one of those type of school shootings or some type of massacre, I would be suing the shit out of the government for that, or any type of political running person that is trying to use my child as a political gain. I will sue the shit out of them. I wouldn't sue no news outlet for speaking or giving their opinion on it. I wouldn't. I would be suing the doggone political party that decided to use my child as a political gain, or some type of political fund access to gain funds for his political stuff. So let's wake the hell up and let's think logic here, because there's no logic when you're saying that, oh, we should take away the guns. We should take away people's gun rights, because a lot of American people that are law-abiding citizens are getting trampled on because of the fact being that they're deciding to take away guns from the law-abiding citizens. I may be a convict and been to jail and done some things that was wrong in my past, but I'm trying to earn my rights back. I'm trying to earn the right to be able to bear arms. My wife has a Second Amendment, and already cops trample on her because of my criminal background, which has nothing to do with her. Her gun rights, she has gun rights. I don't. I'm only limited to a air steel BB gun or a bow and arrow or crossbow. I can only own those two types of stuff, which I can't own something that has combustion. I can't own something that takes bullets, shell casing cartridges. I cannot own that. Guess what? At the end of the day, you are the people that are trying to put more laws in effect. Guess what? As a person, as a ex-convict, guess what? All these criminals, okay? All these criminals still get guns, still have guns. You cannot stop with the laws. You cannot put more laws and expect the criminals to just say, okay, I'm gonna get my gun up. No, it doesn't work like that. Them criminals are not going to do that. They're not like me that's trying to earn his rights back, that's doing the good things, that's speaking to kids that are starting to mess up or, feel like their parents don't do nothing for them and stuff like that. Community outreach. I run my own free non-profit, meaning I don't profit off of what I do. By speaking to kids, by letting kids know that being a criminal does not, it's not something cool, because you lose the fun stuff. Like if you like hunting, you can't go hunting, buy a rifle and go hunting. You can't. I like deer, I like gator, I like, stuff like that. But I cannot buy a firearm and go hunting when I want to. Why? Because I'm limited until I earn my rights back. Until I get my rights back or I apply for my rights back, I cannot do that. There's things that the fun stuff, you can't go to the military. You can't become a law enforcement officer. You cannot become a firefighter. You cannot become a medical doctor or nurse. You cannot do that. Why? Because you have a criminal background and it does not work. But as like I was saying is, people are listening to these crooked politicians that talking about take your guns. I'm going to take your AR-15s. I'm going to take your pistols. I'm going to take your shotguns. So you mean to tell me you're going to take the rights of the people that did not commit any crimes, that earned their rights, that's literally followed the laws all their life, you're going to take their rights away? Well, I'm sorry to say it, but I'm breaking the ice here by discussing this and saying, hey, listen, we cannot have these kids try to tell the government we should take the AR-15s. We should ban or fight to ban AR-15s. They got a nice little, thing they want to do, but it's not gonna work. I'm telling you, because you cannot basically make a law-abiding citizens feel like they can't have their rights because you feel some type of way. No, it doesn't work like that. And I'm sorry, but I'm going to let you guys know. The government is trying to take your gun rights away because of the fact being that you guys are pushing or trying to implement that they should be able to take them rights away, which that's not right. That's not okay. Because if a criminal decides to break in my house, my wife has a right to shoot that criminal. She's allowed to have an AR-15. And I'm going to tell you what, out of all the guns that I've seen on reviews of what's more safer, an AR-15 is more safer because it doesn't go through the walls like that. Just like Officer Tatum has spoke of that, the Uvalde school shooter, the bullets were ripping through the walls. There's no way unless they have the walls are made or have a type of drywall. Of course they're gonna rip through, but not brick. There's no way. So I'm just saying, society needs to wake the hell up and stop with their mess, because they're doing things that's ridiculous by siding with these politicians that say, yes, we're going to take your AR-15s, and they're openly admitting that they are going to trample on the Second Amendment right of the United States Americans, and that's kind of wrong. So let's get this out there and viral.